Last time on the Wrestling Realm.
And you say, okay, there's plenty of stories to tell. So let's look at Raw side, right?
I'm listening.
Top of Triple H.
Yep.
You got Kurt Angle.
Those two already got history with themselves.
I mean, come on. Man. These guys got to be on the same team. And ironically, once again, Stephanie McMahon is once again in the middle. That's storytelling right there.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes! What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
Oh yeah.
They didn't know what to do when Ellsworth grabbed the brief because they're like, well, this is unprecedented. There's something we haven't really addressed. So how do we address it? Because I think they probably beat the tar out of each other. And it's going to be an opportunity for Carmella to come out. And she's probably going to look at both of them like, well, what's cash in? And the referee's probably not going to know. It's like, well, who are you cashing in on?
Yeah.
Because both champions are in the ring knocked out, and she might have to make a decision. And what decision she makes, well, I think it'll get pretty interesting after that. But I don't know. Maybe she wants to travel with Big Cass on Raw again.
A split decision indeed. Well, let's move on. We got the Shield taking on the New Day.
Okay.
So originally, the Shield, Rollins and Ambrose, were set to take on the Usos in a tag match. And I thought that would have been interesting to see Roman kind of, okay, do he go with his brothers, his Shoot brothers, or his Roll brothers?
Yeah, because, at one point, they would call themselves, what, the Bloodline, when they were dealing with AJ Styles and the Bullet Club.
Right. But
Anderson and Gallows.
now we don't have to worry about that. You got the best 3-man tag teams that we've seen probably in the past 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think they made it cool again. They made it possible. Like before, it was kind of like it was like a gimmick thing where it happened every once in a while, and then eventually faded out. But these are two teams that actually made it work. Yeah. In one case where New Day has just such longevity because of how creative they are and how like it hasn't gotten boring yet because what they do is kind of timeless. Yeah. Some things are timely and some things are timeless. What they do is kind of like, okay, this will never get old because of how they do it. And then you have the Shield they just were also good. They ended up being world champions, and the company needed these guys to build only. So there was a natural split. But I mean, these are two of the best teams to ever do it, especially in modern age. But you're seeing more emphasis on 6-man tag teams. Like even in Ring of Honor, they have 6-man tag team championship belts, which is an old school concept that I think a lot of old school concepts are going to come back because we haven't seen them in 20, 30 years. You can reintroduce
War games.
Like, you can introduce concepts that, to me, it's a marketing ploy, and I think it's genius. Because what you're going to do is you're going to introduce this new concept to a completely different generation, and you're also going to refuel an older generation that used to watch it. Yeah. And they're going to, I think after NXT War Games, you're going to sit there and say, let me go watch another one. And they say, you take kids, or well, if I'm a dad from that era, I can say, well, there's a ton of these from back in the day. Oh, really? Let me see. And then you can go back on the WWE Network and check out that kind of stuff. So I just, these old concepts, I mean, they work for me. And I think, the 3-man tag team, faction, group, duo, trio, whatever you want to call them, to me right now, they're two of the best to pretty much ever. I think they're going to go to history books because they're still rolling. Yeah. I mean, you can always go back to the show. You can break them up. You can always come back to it. New Day the same way. It's it doesn't get old as of right now.
That's true. And I think I'm going to go with the Shield to win this one. First match back. Well, technically they wrestle on Raw, but first big match back. I think you go with them. It all started Survivor Series for them, 2012.
Oh, so it's an anniversary thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'd be shocked to say.
Man, a lot changed in 5 years.
Yeah. You'd be surprised what you don't pay attention to. Yeah. Like 5 years later, you're like, wait, what? Like, I wish I could do this and insert like a wrestling flashback or something, but I don't know.
All right, so moving on. Miz versus Baron Corbin.
The Miz in the conversation.
Well, yeah. And then finally, well, we got Sheamus and Cesaro versus
The bar.
Huh?
They got this from Zangief from Street Fighter. I don't know if you
Oh
know
yeah.
reference.
I did play Street Fighter.
You ever seen the movie though?
Nah.
This is a movie that he goes like,
Mortal Kombat, man.
and then the Colonel guy goes like this, and he. And then in the movie, 'cause he was, you know.
Oh, okay.
Because it's funny because in the movie he was a heel and then he turned face at the end. So you
Gotcha.
can always use wrestling references even for Street
That's
Fighter
true.
movie. A lot of people didn't like Street Fighter movie, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I was, childhood stuff.
Well, you got them versus the Usos.
That should be. I think that was the right call.
Okay.
I think that was the right call because you once again you have the two best tag teams in WWE, and I'm an Anderson and Gallows guy, and I would rather Anderson and Gallows had been in that spot, but I understand why they're not. They're veterans at this point. Their job was they took over for the Dudleys. You know what I mean?
Which is crazy because if you not a global wrestling fan, you'd be like, man, they just got there. Why aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of people upset, and I kind of the reason I'm not upset about it because they had a title run, which to me is what matters the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think they're very entertaining, and you can insert them in any tag team situation, and they can. And that's kind of how the Dudleys were in the back end. Like I think everybody's waiting for like a Dudley's title reign.
Yeah.
But they were kind of really helping other teams get over, and I feel like that Anderson and Gallows are probably at that level at this point where it doesn't matter what you put them in, they're always gonna be the club.
Yeah.
So I think Cesaro and Sheamus versus Usos, those are the two top tag teams of 2017. A tag team that you didn't think was gonna work out.
No, I didn't.
And I said, a lot of people made like, oh, why would Mick Foley do this? And he's, they both gonna get a championship match tag, and they've been rolling ever since.
They have, and they made me care about Sheamus. But with that being said, Usos, baby.
Yeah, I think the Usos definitely, because the Usos, they took a backseat for a long time.
Yeah.
They did a couple of WrestleMania pre-shows. They did a lot of, I can't count how many pay-per-view pre-shows they didn't do.
Man, I don't think they got on the show till WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, so I just think that just the development of that character, and even they're talking more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have catchphrases and stuff that works for them. I think they're doing some of the best work that they've done.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Will they pass Alpha and Sika?
I think they will.
Okay.
Because they're still young. They've already done so much, and they haven't even really hit their strides, to be honest. Like, there's so much more for them to do.
So do they crack top 5?
I think when it's all said and done. Because I think they're going to be the guys that actually stay a tag team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that was their dream. Like, most wrestlers want to be champion, but I think like that was their dream. Now, granted, back in the day, you did see like Road Warrior, Hawk challenge like Ric Flair for the NWA title, but they still remain a tag team. But I don't
that wasn't a career move. That was that was like an opportunity.
Exactly.
That should be like opportunity versus career move. But this is just one of those things where it's like, okay, we're looking at it because it's an opportunity, or is this like, okay, I want to be. We're talking Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty.
See, that's like the Briscoes right now, but that's another.
And the crazy part is, I was just thinking about that, and I was like, that's one of the people I was really thinking about when it was brought up. Mm-hmm. So it's funny you're thinking.
Hey man,
you're thinking, man.
Superior Wrestling Intellect.
Nah, it's showing today. I'm seeing it. You flowing, bro.
Hey, that's what we do. Like I said, we back, baby.
This thing is probably longer than it probably really should have been because it always unravels.
Yeah,
there's so much you can get into, but.
Well, finally, as we go, Cruiserweight.
Is this the final match? Is this it?
Yeah, that's the final one.
Wow,
Enzo versus Kalisto. Kalisto's having a birthday celebration on the next episode of 205 Live. What better way to climax your birthday than winning the Cruiserweight title?
I really enjoy Kalisto's work. I always have.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think he's the next Rey Mysterio.
Oh.
I've always said that about Kalisto.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has a crossover appeal. I think he has the look, and he's been one of the few guys that's been a champion outside of the Cruiserweight division. I think, to me, he's a veteran to the Cruiserweight division. When Neville decided to hold the brakes, him jumping out, like he picked up the
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rumor innuendo.
Rumor innuendo says, shout out to Bruce Pritchard.
Right.
And Conrad.
But I can't shout them out without shouting out my man D from the Flex Zone.
Yeah. He's one of the few guys that was with it from day one, like myself.
Yeah.
I enjoy the 2 and 3 and 4 hour shows, man. I just put the joint, I just let it ride out.
I know, right?
I mean, it's too long.
I used to listen to it like in sections.
No, man. Listen, clear my schedule, let it ride. I just sit there in the bed, just hit the button, just sit there and just listen, just flow with it. But
right. But yeah. Shout out to D. Shout out to the Flex Zone. You know, I gotta give them a shout out.
Oh, yeah, all the
Roger,
time, absolutely.
Byron, Cravante, and of course the man Drizzy Dre.
And gentlemen, we will be back on the show at some point. We just,
Yeah.
as you can see, we're a little tied up right now.
Busy, you know.
Yeah.
But too sweet. But yeah, you know, I brought up in the chat, the group chat, that it's a possibility. Shout out to my peoples at Pro Wrestling Powerhouse, pwpnation.com.
What up, Jay?
That Neville could be on his way back to the WWE.
That did my heart so well.
that's why I said I had to shout out D, because he was like, hallelujah.
Yeah, because he's too talented. They shouldn't have left him there. They shouldn't have left him
Now, understanding how you feel about global wrestling,
there.
you still rather see him in the WWE?
I just think he belongs there.
Okay.
He's too good. To me, think about it. Okay, I gotta go there. What's the difference between him and Finn Balor right now? Why is Finn Balor in the spot that he's in, but Neville's not in the spot that Finn Balor's in? Just answer that question for me. Outside of the obvious things, like, okay, the character and stuff like that, just the natural overness, because Finn is just ridiculous. He's on fire right now.
Yeah.
To me, it's not Neville's fault.
Nah.
To me, he got caught in the Bruno Sammartino trend, where he set the precedent as NXT champion when it wasn't what it was. He was in the first. He was the first NXT main event, the first takeover main event at
Sami
Full
Zayn, right?
I thought it was against Bo Dallas.
It was
The ladder match, wasn't it? Was it a ladder match?
I don't remember.
I just remember it was against Bo Dallas.
I just remember the matches him and Sami Zayn had. Like, it
Yeah,
seemed like they
Sammy
wrestled 20
couldn't
times.
win to save his life.
Right, and then we finally wins. His best friend turns on him, which we gotta talk about that before we close out the show.
And that's the thing, though. You see, so I'm like, man, he got caught a bit, and then he got injured, of course, that set him back. But I've seen him; he's doing the best work of his career, and I'm like, he should have been on SmackDown. He should have had that quick run on 205 Live, and that should have been over with.
That's the thing. Like, I don't want to see him get involved in this match that I do think ends. I think Kalisto will win, but I would love to see Neville say them to put him next level.
I think he should come back during the Rumble.
This guy is U.S. Intercontinental Champion worthy.
He's supposed to be before he got injured. Zack Ryder had that run.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Kevin Owens.
But it's like he evolved and then he got upset or he left. So it's like, don't do that. Come back, because it's like, okay, now you got their attention, and now the sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, because as soon as he shows up, everybody is going to know what's going on. I think that's how CM Punk got it done. Like, CM Punk was a huge star and he was fans, but it was just, he went to that next level when he finally aired out his grievances, because he had that Stone Cold effect where a lot of people feel the same way. And it was a lot of stuff he was saying turned out to be true. And he set a precedent for a lot of other guys coming in and even who they were looking at. So he was the person I would never talk bad about, and I think I respect him tremendously for what he did for independent and global superstars coming into the WWE. You know, and I just, with a guy like Neville, man, I'm just like, sheesh.
Right.
I mean, such a talent, like seeing the best work of his career, and just for it to fall flat, because sometimes you got to go through this. Sometimes you got to stand up for yourself. Sometimes you got to be able to say, yo, I belong in a better situation than this. I mean, what if Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Neville have a faction? Cause they're just pissed.
You gotta have factions. More factions.
I mean, all these, they just on some DX stuff, just terrorize the show.
That'd be great, man. Now, speaking of them two, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
Yeah. What's going on with these guys?
What's gonna happen? You know,
It's Survivor Series is a big payday. Let me ask that first and foremost before we dive into
it. It's still always going to be.
It's a big payday, because to me it's a big four, and then the way they treating it, merging almost three concepts into one.
Yep.
Night of Champions, bragging rights, and then of course traditional Survivor Series, and it's just Triple H is, you know, anytime Triple H and Kurt Angle is involved, because now we're going to finally see Kurt Angle in his gear and get his entrance and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The pomp and circumstance.
Oh man, we're gonna hear the music. Anyway, we can book a flight to Houston.
How much time we got?
I gotta be at work Monday.
Well, there goes that. I don't know why you even brought it up.
Hey man.
Thanks a lot, bro. Now I'm disappointed.
My bad.
I hope you're happy.
But yeah, so you got Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
Off the card, correct? As far
Off the card.
Okay.
They got apparently sent home last week.
Yeah.
Man, you know.
Rumor and innuendo.
Probably just one of those things, you know.
might still be burnt out.
Could have been.
Kevin Owens still might be dealing with whatever he's dealing with at home. You know,
I didn't get a chance to read Kevin Owens' Twitter feed. I know he was going back and forth with Randy Orton.
Yeah, he's got young children.
Yeah.
So you never know. He's got a young family. And so I don't know, and I don't think that should be touched.
I think they're gonna be on the show though. I think they're gonna do something. They're gonna terrorize somebody.
Well, what if it's punishment? Is it that severe?
Well, remember they was off the show before all this. But maybe it could.
I guess so. I guess you have a
Well,
point.
technically, the punishment is story driven, because Shane McMahon said, "Okay, fine, you're in a match."
So you're telling me this is what I feel like you're poking at.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are going to terrorize the show in some way, shape, or form.
Wait a minute. Stephanie McMahon said she wants Shane McMahon's head, right?
Oh boy, just guns for hire.
Who helped Kevin Owens win his WWE Universal
Oh,
Championship?
golly, I didn't even think of that. God, you on a different level right now. I didn't even think, I was like, I'm sitting like this. Where is this going? I don't know where he's going with this.
Oh, could you imagine? Hey guys, look, come on over to Raw. Clearly, Sammy, they lied to you, said they was gonna give you an opportunity, and they didn't.
For goodness sake, Sam can't go back to Raw.
If he goes over there with Kevin Owens, though.
But they're not going to stay together. You know Kevin Owens is going to turn on him again. He always does. He always turns on Sami Zayn. He's always, come on now.
But that's his brother.
No, it's not. It's not. He's a user. That's what he does. It's going to be funny. When he turns Sami Zayn again, it's going to, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly the response I was talking about. It's going to be funny. It's like, wow, this dude never learns. Like, yo, you can't trust Kevin Owens. He's going to be like, it's Sammy's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy got in the way. He was being selfish. He only cares about himself.
Oh, man. So I don't know, man. They're going to be there. They're going to be in Houston. And something's going to happen. I'm going to just leave it at that. Something's big going to happen.
What did they go all Nexus and hijack the show? Him, Kevin, Sammy, and Neville. And who else is disgruntled not doing anything like
I mean, the club ain't doing nothing anyway. Throw them in it.
But they're on Raw, though. You got to think about SmackDown people.
Okay. Yeah.
So who else is disgruntled?
I mean,
Who else should be on television that's not on television? Who's Kurt? No. I like Kurt Hawkins, but he's got a funny gimmick going on right now.
I don't know. Yeah, I think he'd be good with just them three.
Maybe Rusev?
Ah, yeah, Rusev Day.
Yeah, Rusev, because he's not
in English.
Because he can stay home.
He could, but you know, he got to sing, so Rusev can walk out there. Maybe that's his moment. He take people serious.
Bless you.
Thank you. I tell you what, which was on the show, and you know I'm setting you up. I'm throwing you a oop.
Okay, let's see.
Elias Sampson.
Who wants to walk with Elias? I don't.
See, I need you to explain the world what you've been telling me for the past couple months here. And when I open my eyes and clean out my contacts, I'm like, oh.
I saw Elias Sampson in NXT. Didn't see much in him. I was like, okay, but then I say this over and over again. I think he's one of the few guys that came from NXT that's actually doing a better job on the main roster than he did in NXT. So I guess that's thanks to Vince.
Like Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, that's a rarity. You know what I mean? It's
Carmella.
Carmella. Yeah, there's a handful. You know what I mean? But if you look at Elias, he wasn't there long. He's like Rusev. They weren't in NXT very long.
Right.
And when you look at this guy, big burly guy, beefed up, you know, full beard. He's got I think he's one wardrobe change away from being a big time player. A huge, I think somebody can really beef up on the mid card, because you see him. Like I said, he has this whole Bram look. And like Bram, I love Bram's look. Like I was like, man, this guy looks like $1 million to me. Mm-hmm. He looks like James Storm if James Storm was in shape. Okay. That's how I look at those guys. And I think Elias Sampson, he's a heat seeker.
Okay.
I mean, he comes out there, he knows what to say and how to get people got, and he does the same thing over and over again and never gets old. That's when you know you're good at something. Yeah. When you can do the same thing over and over again and not get tired of it because you find new and creative ways to sort of say, okay, how can I deliver it tonight, and what can I do about this town and this city? Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, it's instant. But there's times where he's got to take a pause, like, okay, they're really booing me out of here, and just the reaction that he gets. I get the drifter gimmick, man. I'm like, man, if he just put on some trunks or some tights and just give him a more serious look, outside of just I've never been, I've never been a fan of the jeans look.
Right.
I was thoroughly upset when Shawn Michaels returned. He had the jeans on and he had the wife beater. I was like, yo, this is killing me. So yeah, I mean, but he's an interesting factor because they always slide these extra matches on these pay-per-views without you knowing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's one wardrobe change from. I think he's halfway there.
Okay.
Don't have to change the gimmick, but just I think if you change the gear, man, I don't know. I think he.
All right. Well, any final thoughts before we close out?
I think the first one we did was better.
What?
I think the first one. I think the first one we did was better.
Why?
I don't know, man. I don't remember. I think I'm just upset because they changed everything.
That's what it is.
That's probably
you
what it
upset.
This
was that damn good.
I really think we said the same thing over and over again, just different way. I really just generally don't remember. I was like, was the first one better? I'm like, wait a minute, did we say the exact same thing? Just about. My feelings haven't changed, but it just
technology happens.
So how do you like this card versus the one we did before, versus the previous card?
I like this one better. I mean,
because it was a different set of question marks. Like, we had one set of question marks. I think this will be a little bit more exciting.
I think when you talk about the first recording, it's just some great things you said. It's like, man, but the question's already answered. Like,
and I think that's the thing.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, you called the Triple H, and for people who don't know, you was like, man, it could get real ugly, and Stephanie could say, look, Kurt, you ain't gonna be able to do it. I gotta make a decision and put Triple H in the match. It happened. Like, I wish I could have seen his face when it happened. I was like, wow.
I couldn't believe that. When I saw it, I was like, oh, man. I was like, yo, I said, that really happened. Like, I said it. I was like, yo, I was the one that said it. I said, okay, you don't got to worry about finding the last member. I got the last member.
Yeah.
Triple H music hits. Final thoughts on the card. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is.
Coming over?
Yeah, I probably do. I don't see why I wouldn't.
All right, yeah.
I don't see why it's
sucks that school's on Monday because we can watch the kids gonna see the whole thing, but they'll catch a replay.
Yeah, I think it's I should be able to watch it Sunday. I think it's gonna be really, really fun. I think it's gonna really try to get the tradition back in Survivor Series, man. I think we will have a lot of, like I said, I think this is gonna be a pay-per-view to me that sets up, I think, a lot of what goes on into the road to WrestleMania. Like, maybe not determine WrestleMania right now, but say, okay, let's start planting different seeds. Because they're trying to keep it exciting. This is the one thing I respect about what the WWE is doing now more than ever. You look at the traditional Survivor Series match between Raw and SmackDown. They're planting so many seeds of ideas and plans. And they probably had no plans, set in stone already.
Right.
But they're going to throw you 4 and 5 in each situation. Say this scenario, this scenario, this scenario, just to get you thinking. But it gets you excited as a fan.
And tweeting.
The social media engagement. And now they're embracing it. Well, they have their own news. I was going to say, well, what about this? What if this does happen? Well, can Triple H, what if, Brock decides he wants to go to Smack? This is the first time we've seen inter-promotional situation, WrestleMania 20, with Brock and Goldberg. They just showing up with each other's show. And then also Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 21, going back and forth on each show, sneaking over there to say, so I don't know. Maybe we get AJ Brock too, just because.
Hey, I'm for it. Well, I'm gonna say this. My final thoughts is one thing I'm enjoying about this is if you remember the '95 Survivor Series, there was a wild card match, and that wild card match.
You really like taking it back.
Hey man, that's one of my favorites.
You enjoy your '90s wrestling. That's one thing I respect about you.
Yes, man. I mean the logo. It was black and orange.
That was a good year for us.
Yeah, but that wild card match with Shawn Michaels, Ahmed Johnson, Davey Boy Smith, one of my favorites, and Psycho Sid, going up against Razor Ramon and 3 heels, Dean Douglas, and Yokozuna and Owen Hart, right?
That just sounds fun listening to it. Like, I feel like a kid again. I was like, oh yeah, it just
I love watching it because the fun part was that because it was a wild card match, you had a mix of good guys and bad guys, heels and baby faces. And that's what you got in every one of these matches because they're cross-promotional. So that's what I'm really excited for because when you get a heel and a face on the same team, especially in a Survivor Series match, it's always that blind tag or that I don't even want to get in a ring tag, Right. So that's what I'm excited about, man.
Shane Douglas, by the way, was ahead of his time. I'm just going to stick by that.
Oh,
ahead of his time. One of my all-time favorites, one of the greatest world champions and mid-card champions in professional wrestling history who does not get enough credit I slid that into the show. That's right. I said it. Shane Douglas definitely had his time. Can you imagine the attitude era? I'm going off the rails, but it's okay. Survivor Series 2017.
What, a year too early?
Man, just the stuff he did in ECW stuff. I'm like, yo, why wouldn't he be allowed to do this stuff? But you know, him and Austin. Can you imagine? Not gonna go there.
Well, the Click certainly had a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I'm sure we have a show to discuss that at some point.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you. As you can see, the Wrestlemania is back, bigger and better than ever before. You know, as you see, he didn't change the place again.
Every once in a while, I like to do that.
You know, but make sure you are tuned in right here. Subscribe to our channel, The Wrestling Realm. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, The Wrestling Realm. Join the group as well. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Wrestling Realm. Until the next time, he's the Real Dwayne Allen. I'm Brian H. Waters. So long, everybody. Too
Peace out.
sweet.
Mr. Brian Waters.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!